Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am not here with Geeky Sparkles. We're going to give you some video game news. We're going to talk about Warner Brothers games scrapping the Wonder Woman game, laying more people off. I mean, this studio's on fire, man. I mean, they got rid of their CEO or their president. I guess he's stepping down. Layoffs at Rocksteady. They shut down Multiverses. They've been closing studios left and right, laying people off left and right. Warner Brothers has no idea what they're doing in the video game space. I mean, I have no idea what they're up to. There are rumors, though, that they're apparently going to do a Batman Beyond game. I'm like, with what people? I don't think you're going to have anybody left. But we're going to talk about this shocking turn of events. And this might be a good thing. This might actually be a good thing because the way that Warner Brothers has been lately, the way that these AAA games have been lately, I have to wonder if Wonder Woman wouldn't have been a pretty crappy game. So, or at least a very expensive flop. And they can't afford expensive flops anymore. So we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Hey, go out to clownfishtv.substack.com if you're looking for notifications for videos. Sign up for notifications. You will be emailed every time that we post a new video. We're doing this because, yeah, YouTube is doing some weird stuff. Now, a lot of you said that you're getting notifications, but we have a lot of people say they're not, so I'm giving you the option. Guys, check it out. Man, there's so many ads everywhere. We're going to talk about this. So, yeah, if you've been following the situation with Warner Brothers, they had a few high-profile misfires. They lost a lot of money. Whatever gains they had with Hogwarts Legacy, they lost with Suicide Squad. They wound up having to lay a bunch of people off. From Rocksteady, they shut down Multiverses, I guess, or they're going to be shutting it down, I think, in May. And yeah, it's not good. The guy who's in charge, he's stepping down. Again, it's just another example of AAA gaming imploding in real time. And they were working on a Warner Brothers game, and it's done. It's over. Wonder Woman's getting canceled. This is coming from PC Games N, and I think they got from Jason Schreier on Bloomberg. Warner Brothers scraps new Wonder Woman game, closes the beloved Shadow of Mordor studio. In further evidence that critically successful games can't protect you from layoffs, yeah, Warner Brothers has closed Shadow of Mordor dev Monolith. Yeah, that's kind of surprising. But look, I don't think there's any room on the corporate ledger now for AAA games. I think there have been so many high-profile failures that companies that are already hurting, if they can divest themselves of game studios, are going to do it. And we're seeing more and more of this, right? It's like there are layoffs happening all over the place. And I think what's going to happen is we're going to have a handful of studios that are basically sellswords that these companies go to with their IP and say, hey, make us a game. You make us a game, maybe we'll co-finance it or something, but you take the risk. You obviously know how to make games. We don't want to have our own game studio. You make the games for us. Or they could just sit around and wait for AI to get really good and be like, yeah, hey, Grok, make us a AAA game a la carte, right? And that day will come pretty soon, actually. So everybody's going to be able to make their own games, not have to buy, $70, $80, $100 AAA titles that are unfinished when they ship, by the way. Warner Brothers Games has shut down multiple studios, including Monolith Productions, the developers behind Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. The publisher has also canceled Monolith's next project, a Wonder Woman game announced back in 2021. Yeah, it's amazing how long it takes for these games to get to market. The culling affects hundreds of employees across 3 separate studios. Warner Brothers' video game division has been on the ropes in recent months after high-profile flops like Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and Multiverses. I was surprised. I really was surprised about Multiverses. I thought it was doing pretty okay. But pretty okay is not good enough now. Monolith Productions, however, was one of the publisher's crown jewels. Shadow of Mordor was a massive hit and a critical success, often considered one of the best open-world games ever. The Wonder Woman game, though, was reportedly facing challenges and never got promoted beyond an initial 2021 teaser. Probably not coming together. I'm going to be honest, they probably hired a bunch of DEI people. If I had to guess, Sweet Baby Inc. is probably involved in it. Who the hell knows? And it's probably early enough in development that they can pull the plug and take the write-off. And that's what they're going to do. Monolith has been active developer since 1997, since a boomer shooter. Are we call wait? Okay, so let me back this up. They're calling Blood a boomer shooter. Are we retroactively applying that label to first-person shooters made in the 90s and early 2000s? Is that what we're doing now? Because they were just games. They were the AAA titles of their time, right? Doom and Quake and, you know, I'd say Half-Life and Unreal and all those games. But now we're calling them boomer shooters. I don't understand. Like boomer shooter, I can see if it's a new game trying to emulate those games, kind of like retro or Metroidvania or whatever. But like that's like going back and being like, oh yeah, Super Metroid is a Metroidvania game. Well, no shit. You know, it's like Castlevania Symphony of the Night is a Metroidvania game. Well, no shit. I don't know. It's weird to see them retroactively apply that to older games. They also created cult classics like Tron 2.0, which, yeah, it was actually pretty good. It was better than a lot of the other Tron stuff that came out. And condemned Criminal Origins. They shut down two other studios, Player First, which did Multiverses, and Warner Brothers Games San Diego. They need to do something with Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 1 was ass. It was not good. I mean, it wasn't the worst game ever, but it was a downgrade from Mortal Kombat 11, right? I mean, seriously, just go back to like, and I talked about this before. Apparently, Craig from Side Scrollers, somebody said he was talking about it too, and I talked about it in another video. I would like to see a new console that feels like a retro console. I would love to see somebody be like, you know what? Let's just go back to basics. Let's give people like a PS2, PS3 style console. It doesn't cost a lot. It's maybe $100, $150. Comes in fun colors. And we have a lot of single player and two player offline games for this console. And give people boomer shooters or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would like to see us go back to that and just focus on making good games. And even if the technology is limited, I think there would be a demand for that. A bunch of offline games, or do another 4-player console like the N64. You and your friends get together and play party games and do it offline. I think we need that. I saw. It was making the rounds. It was very obviously AI, but they're talking about like what it was like to be a teenager in the 90s, and they had them playing N64 together and going to the bowling lanes together and going to the arcades together and mall together. And like, we don't do enough in-person stuff anymore. I think the internet is a double-edged sword, right? It gives us access to everybody and nobody all at once. And, like we have a bunch of people that have online friends, but they don't have any real relationships because they don't have to go anywhere in person. I'm like, no, let's bring a console back that people actually have to go to somebody else's living room to play. That would be that. I'm just saying, if you want to save gaming, we got to save the gamers. We got to make it a social activity again, not just online. Bloomberg first broke the news. Back to the article. Kotaku received a statement from Warner Brothers Games confirming it, which claims the difficult studio closures were due to the company-wide restructure around key franchises. The publisher's statement does not clarify whether any of the 3 studio employees have been any of the 3 studios. Oh, okay. Any of the 3 studios employees have been reallocated to different teams or stated what severance benefits they might receive. Everybody's getting fired. AAA gaming's done. We had to make some difficult decisions to structure our development studios and investments around building the best games possible with our key franchises, Harry Potter, Mortal Kombat, outsource Mortal Kombat. Oh, that's what, yeah, okay, so to bring it back, the reason I was talking about this in the first place is if you want to save Mortal Kombat, do another 2D Mortal Kombat. Digitize graphics and put it on that retro console I just talked about. Do like a Mortal Kombat, like an actual Mortal Kombat follow-up to the first 3 games. Like, I don't even count 4. 4 is whatever. Those first 3 games, they're classics. Do a follow-up. Do something in that vein. Just plus it a little bit and outsource it to another studio if you want to save Mortal Kombat. And then put it on that retro console and see what happens. DC and Game of Thrones. After careful consideration, we are choosing three of our development studios, Monolith Productions, Player First Games, and Warner Brothers Games San Diego. This is a strategic change in direction and not a reflection of these teams or the talent that consists within them. Man, you could probably get gaming devs pretty damn cheap now. Initially, and then they all unionize and they cost 3 times as much as they did when you hired them. The development of Monolith's Wonder Woman video game will not move forward. Our hope was to give players and fans the highest quality experience possible for the iconic character. And unfortunately, this is no longer possible within our strategic priorities to save money. This is another tough decision. We recognize Monolith's storied history of delivering epic fan experiences through amazing games. We greatly admire the passion of the 3 teams and thank every employee for their contributions. As difficult as today is, we remain focused on and excited about getting back to producing high-quality games for our passionate fans and developed by our world-class studios. And getting back our games business, back to profitability and growth. Profitability. The video game industry forgot about that, along with fun. And those two things are kind of intertwined, right? If the games are fun and the gamers are having fun and they don't feel like they're getting ripped off, then you're profitable. You're going to be profitable. If you're not spending $200, $300 million on a game that nobody wants to play, you might be profitable. If you do a damn 2D Mortal Kombat game that only costs a couple $1 million to develop and you put it on a retro console, you'll be profitable. I'm just saying, people freaking love that. They'd eat that up. Layoffs have been a regular part of the landscape of the game development for the past few years. Yeah. Are we stopping to ask why? Why did gamers stop buying these games? Because that's really what the crux of this thing is, right? Not enough gamers are buying the new games that are being put out, and there are many reasons for that. Yes, DEI absolutely positively does factor into it. Gamers feeling like they're getting ripped off because they're spending, again, $70+ for unfinished games. Everything being live service, and some people just don't want it. Loot boxes and, DLC and all of that. And people are playing older games, not just retro games, but they're also playing older live service games, like World of Warcraft or whatever. And they're not playing the new stuff. And, we've got Fortnite. I mean, to most kids now, like Fortnite and Minecraft are basically video games. And if you have a game that can never be beaten, you have an everlasting gobstopper, and that's what these games are. These live service games, they're everlasting gobstoppers. They never have to go buy another game, and that's a huge problem, right? If that's what the kids are playing, they're playing Fortnite, and that is their game, and that is what they play all the time. You don't need to make any other live service games because eventually the characters that these kids like, they're going to dump them into Fortnite anyway. It's not like when we played games, it's like we buy a game, we beat the game, we go buy another game. So yeah, that's a problem. I said even massively successful games like Marvel Rivals have seen cuts to the U.S. teams. Yes. Hi-Fi Rush launched to strong sales. Hi-Fi Rush is great. It's an awesome game. The kids actually played on the gaming channel. It's really good. Launched to strong sales and critical acclaim only for Microsoft to close the studio. Yeah, but that studio got purchased. These guys will probably get picked up, or I think a lot of these developers will get picked up. But yeah, it's over. Like AAA gaming is over. And I don't see it coming back anytime soon. I think we need to have significantly cheaper games that are more fun. They're more gamer focused, more player focused, and just kind of recalibrate the entire video game industry because it lost its way. It tried to compete with Hollywood and it blew itself up. It hurt itself in its confusion. So we're gonna wrap this up. I think we're gonna. Why am I asking myself? Kiki's not here. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm making the executive decision to wrap this up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.